Recently, we also spoke to financial and estate planner Richard Bernstein. We discussed the increase of foreign investment. You know, we're talking about companies moving out of the country, but we're talking about foreign investment in Florida real estate and the effects that it could have on retirees in the Sunshine State and all across the country.
Governor Scott has made it great that people can put money into this state. No income taxes, no estate taxes from a standpoint from a state situation. And you see a lot of money coming from Central South America, from Europe, from China, coming into Florida. And they're concerned not necessarily how much money they're going to make on their principal, but making sure their principal is safe and going forward.
Yeah, you brought up a really interesting point to me before this segment where you were talking about the attacks that happened in Paris, and you believe some of the violence that we're seeing happen around the world is actually triggering more people to invest in the United States.
I think that people are trying to get money out of certain countries they're concerned about. I really believe that to be true. And if you watch TV, people are afraid. People are afraid to travel now, which is, it never used to be that way. And you see people from foreign countries moving assets out. If you go back into history, history has a tendency to repeat itself. So look at the Rothschilds. When they used to move their assets around, it was always cash. It was into cash, and it was into real estate, and it was into artwork. And people who had the cash, they would move it out. When things got better, they would go back and try to recapture what was there.
Let's talk a little bit about tax planning. Foreign investors pay astronomical taxes on investments if they don't plan accordingly. Should retirees follow the same template to hold on to their assets?
Absolutely. I mean, in our country, we have up $5.5 million approximately for gift. If you're a foreigner, it's only $60,000. But if you're into the insurance, the growth is in there, no income tax, no estate planning, depending upon which country you come from. And people are buying real estate, and they're setting up trust for their children, international trust to protect their children. And there's a couple of good firms in South Florida like Cantor Webb, Steve Cantor, who co-authored the article with me, tremendous international tax lawyer, graduate from NYU, who's helping people from around the world put assets in the United States and protect their families.
You deal a lot with retirees, investment planning. What's the biggest mistake that you see people making right now, and how can they correct it?
You need to start saving instead of spending. Our country, all of a sudden, it's what do we get now? They're not saving enough money. They're not putting enough money away for themselves and for their family, for their children. And we're living longer, so it makes it tougher. The healthcare cost has gone up, as it's on your program a lot. That's a serious problem for the citizens of this country.
Well, thank you so much for all of your insight and helping us out today. Richard Bernstein, CEO of Richard S. Bernstein Associates, thank you for joining us here on Newsmax Now. It was a pleasure.